Section 11. Get a Picture with Richard Harris. While on the topic of statues, this one is more of a recent monument, depicting actor Richard Harris as King Arthur from the 1967 movie Camelot. The statue is something of a cult favorite in Limerick. This might be because most people haven't seen the movie Camelot, and because there is something intriguing about a guy holding the wrong end of a sword. Harris was born and raised in Limerick City, and sadly passed away in 2002. He was well known for playing Albus Dumbledore in the first two Harry Potter movies, Marcus Aurelius in Gladiator, and Bull McCabe in The Field. You can find it on Bedford Row, just off O'Connell Street, often surrounded by street musicians and tired shoppers. Section 12. Visit St. John's Cathedral. With one of the tallest spires in Ireland, at 265 feet and 9 inches, you literally can't miss the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist. Since its completion in 1882, it has added a Gothic sensibility to Limerick's fairly modest skyline. It's also extremely well maintained, with 3 separate renovations over the last 70 years. The cathedral is a great place for some photos or quiet reflection. Visiting cathedrals may seem dull at first, but they are the meat and bones of any city break. Staying in a city for a short amount of time can be challenging, particularly if you're looking for some feeling of cultural satisfaction. When the city is reluctant to give you that feeling through other avenues, such as art or music, you can always find it by gazing at the inside of a big cathedral. They will never let you down. Luckily, Limerick has 2 of them. Section 13. Visit St. Mary's Cathedral. St. Mary's is far older than St. John's Cathedral. It was built in 1168 on top of a hill in Kings Island, the oldest part of Limerick City. The atmosphere may be a bit somber, but its large grounds are a lovely place to go for a walk. St. Mary's notable features are its beautiful stained glass windows and its carved misericords, the decorative details found on the underside of folding church seats. These misericords, 21 in all, are the only surviving pre-Elizabethan carvings in Ireland. Section 14. Wander through the Hunt Museum. The Hunt Museum is just over the bridge from St. Mary's Cathedral. In fact, there's a pretty walk that you can take along the river between the 2 sites, which also passes over a tiny bridge and the grounds of the former potato market. The core of the museum's exhibitions are John and Gertrude Hunt's personal collections, composed of various antiques, tapestries, and ancient pottery. While it doesn't contain much history about the city, the Hunt Museum is a great place to go to settle in and get a feel for Limerick. Sometimes they exhibit local art, and they are always seeking new ways to engage with the public. Beyond the museum, there's a nice place to hang out with benches, a giant chessboard, and a fantastic view of the river. Section 15. Swig some beer brewed in Treaty City. Whether you're visiting Limerick for culture, nature, heritage, or partying, it's difficult to escape the presence of beer. Many people come for the Guinness, which is a worthy pursuit, But Limerick has its own homemade offerings. Limerick's biggest local beer comes from Treaty City Brewery. If hops are your thing, they offer tours of their brewery, which is in the middle of the Kings Island and the medieval quarter. Their beers can also be found in bars and shops all over the city. I recommend trying Harris Pale Ale, their original brew, which is named after famous Limerick man Richard Harris. To keep it local, you can also visit Crew Brewing Company on Thomas Street. They serve a variety of unusual craft beers, some of which are homemade. You can get a seat with a view of their microbrewery, which is through a door just meters away from the bar. Section 16. Try a stout that isn't Guinness. Guinness has an international reputation, and anybody that comes here should try Guinness at least once. There are non-alcoholic options now, too. However, when ordering at the bar, you might see other black taps with strange names such as Beamish or Murphy's. Well, along with Guinness, these two cork-based names make up the holy trinity of Irish stout. Beamish is generally slightly cheaper than Guinness. It has a considerably stronger and creamier taste, with notes of oak and chocolate. Murphy's is slightly lighter in taste than the other two, but retains a medium body and a very dark color. You can get aromas of toffee and coffee, and only a hint of bitterness. Try Guinness while you're in Limerick, but don't limit yourself. Stout is a big deal here. Section 17. Play a game of Flannery's Bingo. While Paris is known as the City of Light, and Prague is known as the City of 1,000 Spires, Limerick may come to be known as the City of 1,000 Flannery's Bars. The first Flannery's is on Denmark Street, right around the corner from the Milk Market, in a fairly lively nightlife zone. This one is a great pub for whiskey. Owner Michael Flannery has produced his own whiskey Bible, explaining all the different variations of Irish whiskey. Then you have Patsy Flannery's, which is also signposted simply as Flannery's Bar, but is found around the corner on Wickham Street. Next is Jerry Flannery's, owned by the former Munster and Ireland rugby player, which actually helps newcomers by distinguishing itself from the others. Its sign reads, Jerry Flannery's. And there is a huge rugby ball crashing out of the wall. This one can be found on the corner of Cecil Street and Catherine Street. Finally, there is Flannery's at 19 Shannon Street, which serves food 6 days a week, and according to one TripAdvisor review, is a lovely wee place. The point is, don't get your Flannery's bars mixed up. If you're meeting somebody at Flannery's, make sure they are specific about which bar they mean. Section 18. Visit the Milk Market on the weekend. Every weekend, the Milk Market and a couple of surrounding streets come alive with pungent scents and lively chatter. On a Saturday morning in the city, there's nothing better to do. The market houses upwards of 40 stalls. There are also approximately 20 shops around the outside of the market that can be visited any day of the week, but open up their back doors on market day. These everyday shops consist of vintage clothing shops such as The Edge and several cafes and takeaways. From Friday to Sunday, the indoor section opens and you can venture inside to find a cornucopia of tasty baked goods, fresh cheeses, spicy curries, chocolates, and meat and vegetables. The whole place is bustling and smells amazing. On these days, the surrounding streets are usually packed with stalls too, selling trinkets, records, jewelry, and even old farming equipment. However, make sure you get there early because it closes at 3 p.m. and all the good stuff will be gone. Section 19. Explore Limerick's other markets. The Milk Market is the largest and most popular, but Limerick has several other markets to go and see. The Wickham Way is an indoor market that takes place on weekends, but is open much later than the Milk Market. You can visit its food court until 10 p.m., and on Saturdays, there are also lots of local arts and crafts for sale. Wickham Way is a relatively new market and is located in what can only be described as an alleyway with a roof, so it's perfect for when it's raining. 15 minutes away from the center by bus, you can find the Castleroy Farmers Market, which takes place every Friday. If you're busy with other stuff on the weekend, a farmers market also comes to the University of Limerick's courtyard on Tuesdays during the college semester. You can get a range of local produce and delicious, comforting takeaway food.